Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. So welcome to another episode of 5 albums that got me into X genre. Today we're going to do 5 albums that got me into death metal. Now quite often on this channel I've claimed that death metal is not my genre. However, I got a comment once randomly saying, oh, it was on my top 10 of 2024 I think, and the comment said, for a guy who doesn't listen to death metal, you've got an awful lot of death metal in your top 10. And I was like, do you know what? I think he's right. So, I'm a lot more prone to death metal these days. I do enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. While it's not the most listened to genre in my style of listening, it's definitely a lot more than it was 5 years ago. So these albums are quite, you could say one of them, I think, is quite, in a way, nostalgic without really, I was listening to it while not really knowing what death metal was. But then the rest of it is all pretty straightforward, if you know what I mean. Like, it's pretty, I wouldn't say cliche, but they're quite classic, shall we say. But yeah, if you know what five death metal albums got you into the genre, please let the comments go down below and we'll have a conversation. If you like metal, if you like death, if you like black, if you like symphonic, if you like power, if you like Iron Maiden, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and all that fun stuff that YouTubers do when they ask for help. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Well, when I did my last one, I went in order, so I'll try go in order again, just like in order of time, and we'll see how we go. So the first one, you could say, that got me into death metal, like I said just before, I was really listening to it without really realizing that it was death metal, because it was very catchy, it was very melodic, it was very Viking infused, so I didn't really consider it death metal until someone said, oh, it's melodic death metal. So I was like, oh. And that album is Amonimouth's With Odin on Our Side. This album came out, I don't actually know when it came out off the top of my head, I should have looked it up, but the big song that came from this album that I first heard, well, probably most of us first heard, was Cry of the Black Birds. I was like, good God, what is that? Like I say, it's very Viking driven, it's almost power metal-esque style, do you know what I mean? The drums, they just go like that, and the guitars and whatnot, it's just that opening, like the opening riff is quite built up, and then that part with the cymbals, dun dun bum bum bottom, it's just a song about charging into war. It was just like, good God. I've always claimed that would I ever be sent off to war, if I had to wear a helmet and ride a horse with a sword, that would be the song that I would put in my ears when we ride to the battle. You know what I mean? But like, that's the one that would hype you up. But yeah, this album was just awesome, because I remember jamming, once I learned Cry of the Blackbirds and like got used to hearing that sound of music, I was like, what else is actually on this album? So I looked it up, and I looked the album up and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, this is just stacked all the way through. Like, I haven't listened to too much Amon Amarth, like in terms of like full discography, so for all I know, this might not be like their best album, but it's honestly one of my favorites. So yeah, Valhalla awaits me, sorry, I should say, the opening track, just classic stuff. Honestly, Ruins to the Memory is great. Like I said, Cry of the Blackbirds is awesome, but the title track as well. The title track is great. It's some real challenging in your picking hand when you try and play it onto that. The gallops are quite tight, and they're quite dun 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 dun, and then trimming it all the way. It's typical Amon Amarth stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just real. It's just golden. It's glorious. It's honestly, I really wouldn't consider it like a death metal album, but it's melodic death, so what are you going to do? But yeah, the first one that really made me kind of shape the way into listening to death metal, Amon Amarth With Odin on Our Side. The second album is, yeah, again, another sort of, fused genre of death metal. This one's a blackened death metal, and that album is Belphegor's Conjuring the Dead. Yeah, when I was looking for dark satanic music, I found these guys, and I found Conjuring the Dead, the song, and I was like, that's not black metal, it's much more aggressive, and it's much more brutal. Like, it's not timid, and it's not woe is me, I'm a victim type black metal type stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not cold. It's just scary and brutal and just loud and aggressive, and that's what Belphegor are. And when I heard that song, I went out and I found the album. I bought the album in Australia, and I was like, yo, thank you. And, it's one of my more favorite death metals of all time. Like, like that, it's black and death, so it's a lot harder than just brutal death metal. But because of how satanic and evil it is, that's why I love it so much. You know what I mean? It's a stacked album. I really, really love this one. I did a Belphegor ranking like a little while ago now, and I listened to all their stuff. And this, I'll ruin it for you. This one came at #1 because it's my nostalgic Belphegor album. Do you know what I mean? It's honestly great. A lot of people put this near the bottom. I don't know why. I think it's awesome. Gas Mask Terror, great opening riff. You know, fantastic stuff. Obviously, it sounds a lot more brutal on the record. Conjuring the Dead, the song, like I said, great stuff. Rex Tamade Magidesas is fine. Blackwing Torment is good. Legions of Destruction, but Flesh, Bones, and Blood. Oh, God, that song just emulates the Jaws riff, like dun 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 dun. Honestly, eerie, freaky, creepy summoning stuff. It's just fantastic. Lucifer Take Her is a scary listen when you got the woman shouting her head off like that. But just, yeah, if you like dark, evil, brutal music, I highly recommend you check out Belphegor if you haven't heard of them before. And I would recommend start with Conjuring the Dead, the song, and then just work your way around from there. It's a great album nonetheless. So yeah, the second one, Belphegor, Conjuring the Dead. The next one, when I started to get to like into proper straightforward death metal, I've chosen obviously the most cliche death metal album you could say, Cannibal's Tomb of the Mutilated. Like, yeah, I ranked Cannibal not long ago, and this was my number one, like, basic bitch Cannibal vote. But honestly, there's a reason for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is just a stacked death metal album. It's glorious, and it's just fun. It's brutal. It's Chris Barnes, like at his best, I reckon. Yeah, he did a great job on the bleeding as well. But like this album is just, oh. You know what I mean? Hammer Smash Face. Yeah, it's the you know, paranoid of death metal. But come on, God's sake, when you hear that riff, you can't help but be like, it's great stuff, honestly. But yeah, aside from that, you know, Addicted to Vaginal Skin, it's great stuff. Entrails Ripped is good. The other one, I just had it in my head. Necropedophile, honestly, one of my favorites on that one. But yeah, Beyond the Crypt and all that, like the second back half of the album is unofficial concept album. Let me explain. Entrails Ripped is, you know, about murdering someone, right? Obviously, and you get post-mortal ejaculation, which would happen afterwards, and then Beyond the Cemetery, where he just goes full insane and just absolutely abuses the whole cemetery. It's unofficial concept. It's a great story. But yeah, Split Wide Open, I Come Blood as well. You know, just brutal stuff. The Cryptic Stench, 35 minutes, 1992, just fantastic stuff. It's a bit hard on the ears for someone who's not used to this sound, but if you're trying to get into the more extreme side of the death metal, I think this is a great starting point. You just work your way through the Cannibal discography and you're there. So yeah, easily one of the more better death metal albums in the world. Tomb of the Mutilated, Cannibal Corpse. The next one is a lot, these last two are a lot more recent, like within the last year, okay? So bear with me on that. This is my favorite Morbid Angel album, and that is Blessed Are the Sick. This is album 2. While Altars of Madness is great and Covenant is good. I'm not saying Covenant's amazing, but like, you know, this one, I really loved listening to this. I randomly decided out of nowhere, to rank all of Morbid Angel, and I had only ever heard Altars of Madness like in full prior to that. I hadn't heard anything else. So when I got to now album 2, I was like, this is great. I think because it's a lot more like, well, it's not straightforward death metal, if you know what I mean. Like there's a lot more musicality on this thing. I think there's a lot more instrumentals on here for a start, which I don't have a problem with, even if they're on the back half of the album. I think it's really cool. There's just a lot more diversity, you could say. Like it's a lot more, like for a better word, like it's a lot more musical. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Intro and Fall From Grace. You know, Fall From Grace is an absolutely fantastic opening song. It just really punches you in the face with that. Brainstorm, Rebel Lands, Doomsday, Day of Suffering. Like it's packed. It's jam-packed. Honestly, it's so good. The Kingdom Come, Unholy Blasphemies, Abominations, Desolate Ways, Ancient, like I'm just listing them all. But like it's just, the solos on here are fun, the riffs are great, the vocals are done awesomely. It's just a really good death metal album. I think it's up there with one of the greatest. Like I said, I don't listen to a lot of it, but like I just really enjoy this one. So like this album was devoted to Mozart. So like it's just, like I say, it's just that little bit better than Altars of Madness in my opinion. But yeah, if you're looking for death metal with a tiny bit of flair, maybe, you know, check this one out. Might be surprised. Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick. I've just realized that if I tried to go in chronological, I should have put this one before that one. That's my most recent one. This album here, I heard 2022, no, it would be 21 if I remember, because I wasn't in this house. 2021, I heard this and I was like, wow. Remember when I was talking about listening to scary black metal stuff along with the Belphegor stuff? I found this and realized that it wasn't black metal, again, it was death metal. And weirdly enough, now that I've ranked this band, This one's not my favorite, but I adore this album so much. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm happy to own it finally. Ladies and gentlemen, Deicide Once Upon the Cross is like one of the world's best heavy metal albums of all time. I'm sorry, like it just is. The amount of respect that I've got for this album is actually ridiculous. Like Serpents of the Light is actually my #1 ranked Deicide album, but this one is just as good. You know, it's honestly so amazing. It's just, I remember hearing the title track for the first time and I was just like, what? You know, it's so fast, it's so brutal, it's so aggressive, it's so scary in a way. It's just Glenn Benton and the rest of the guys just being absolute animals, absolute machines, and just, you know, blitzkrieging their way through Floridian death metal. Like there's no sub-genre off this thing. It's just straight death metal with black metal, you know, content. You know, we hate Jesus and all that jazz. Look at the cover, you know, that's obviously what it is. Yeah, it's just a awful, awful onslaught of brutal death metal. It's honestly great. I actually just realised there aren't any track listings on the back, so I quickly had to look them up. But yeah, like I said, the title track, Once Upon the Cross, the opening song, just amazing stuff. The little opening snippet from the Ten Commandments, I think that's right off the top of my head. Why are people saying me? Dun, 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 just great stuff. Christ Denied is perfect, honest to God. When Satan rules his world, though, that's great. The riff in that's what makes Deicide stand out from the rest of the death metal bands. Their riffs are so catchy, it's illegal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's insane that someone can write a riff like that and make it sound as brutal as they do. Satan's Rules His World is one of those examples. Kill the Christian, awful content, but great stuff. You can't deny. Like, it's fantastic. That song's amazing. Trickle Betrayed is fantastic as well. They Are the Children of the Underworld is good. To Be Dead, Confessional Rape, 28 minutes long, this album. You know, I've got songs that are longer than this album, but still, if you're looking for just straightforward, blast-beating, satanic death metal, this is the album for you. Deicide are the band for you, I should say. You know, 1995, when did this come out? April 15 or something like that, April 17, around there. Yeah, just perfect death metal in my opinion. One of the best death metal albums of all time. So yeah, if you like the sound of that, go check it out. Deicide, Once Upon the Cross. And that is my list. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I sit here and take you through the 5 albums that got me into the death metal genre. Like I said at the start, let me know down below what 5 albums got you into death metal. Are you anywhere near the same as mine? Are you completely different? I like to see what people got into. I'll probably check them out. It's what I do. But yeah, I've got more of those. I've still got symphonic metal to do. I've got folk metal. Yeah, you know, there's still some genres to do. So I'm excited to keep those going. Keep an eye out for those. But until that happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe. Out of all of these, the most jammed Deicide. And I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.